if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what? Welcome in here to Pregaming. Happy Friday. Happy Valentine's Day out there to everybody that celebrates such an occasion. Excited to be here with the shortest card I think I've seen all year. But we'll find a way to make that money as we do. Bear with me. Okay. Wow. If you're looking at tonight's card, it's a good night. It's a good night to go out for Valentine's Day. You got MAA action. You got what? One Big Ten game, an A-10 game, a Mountain West game. Oh man, what a slate! But I don't know what happened here. You're out of sorts. Let's get this right. Let's get it right. That's what happens. Streaming all week long, it feels like here. But it's Friday, so happy Friday to everybody. We've made it. Big weekend ahead. We've got the UFC fight card coming up here tomorrow. We shot first strike. We're not like them other shows, wherever them other shows are. We want to give you guys plus money shots to attack. Get that money. Go make it happen. 4 fights we gave you, and we gave you separate ways to play them as well. So not just the spot that we like, not just a plus money spot that we like, but then some props to consider as well. So look, it's about a 20-minute show. 4 fights, you got about 8 bets you can make simply just off of first strike. Team's been running hot. Your boy here's got 3-0 underway to start this calendar year off here. Took a loss that first week and then rifled off 3 straight winners. Going for number 4, and it's a plus 140 spot right now. Plus 140 with 2 ways to play it at plus 250 and plus 600. So I hope you guys get that money with us here tomorrow. We'll start around 3:30. Looks like there's another cancellation on the card. So we'll see if that pushes the start time back. Right now, the Vegas fight time is scheduled for 4:15 Eastern. So 3:30 or so should be when we get going. We'll see. But you know the deal. Tonight is the night. The playbook, the UFC playbook is out there. You know, we sent it out for members last week. I'll send it back through again tonight. We're going to make some updates on it tonight for you guys to check it out. But really straightforward. We put down some of our thoughts for the fights before the fight card starts. Some of you guys had been asking for more content. You wanted more info. You wanted more fights broken down before, or at least plays broken down before. Maybe you wanted to do parlays. Maybe you're trying to compare notes. Whatever the case may be, that's what the UFC playbook's for. We're in our second week of this. And going to continue to fill this out with maybe not all our bets, right? Sometimes we want to see how some of these lines materialize, but quite a few of them. And props, sides, interesting takeaways for you guys to consider. So that's going to be out there. That's out there. Matter of fact, if you had the link last week, it's the same link. We just added the tab for UFC Fight Night, also known as UFC Vegas 102. How did we do last night? Well, it's a mic drop when it comes to the NHL. I'm not going to say I'm the best NHL capper. Say that. But I'm pretty freaking good. Pretty freaking good. Player by player, looking at those lineups, there's a reason I read them out to you guys. I talked to you. What did I say? The softest defense in the Four Nations tournament. Finland. They scored early. Then they got blasted. What was it? 6 straight goals. Team America rolling. We got our team total over 3.5. What did we get that in? Was it the first period or the second period? I think it was the second period that thing cashed. Matty Tkachuk at plus 250 cashes, the anytime goal scorer as well. Look, the under saves for Saros, that cash. That was another spot that I talked to you guys about for the same game parlay. The Tkachuk brothers are on fire. I did add a Four Nations bet today. I had talked about it the other day, but I realized I didn't put it in there, and I thought it was a good time to do that. Go Canada under 5.5 round robin points. I mean, look, they play 3 games, right? Then they go to the championship, whomever that happens to be. Well, they already got 1 point. Well, I guess 2 points, right? The overtime win. I don't expect them to beat America. I'm sorry. I said under. I'm on the over 5.5. Let me get my head and my ass squared together. Here's what it comes down to. They picked up 2 points already. They get 1 against the USA, probably because it goes to overtime and they lose. That's just the way Canada and USA battles have gone on. That's 3. And I think they can kick the dog shit out of Finland to go get that last set of 3. They win it outright in regulation. That's 6 points, boys and girls. That's a 6-pack. That's all they need to get the over 5.5. DraftKings has that number at minus 115 right now for Team Canada over 5.5 points. I still expect the final to be Team Canada, Team USA. I do expect Team USA to dominate. And that's all we'll say about that. Short card. So might as well throw that out there. But it was a good night last night from the rink. As we roll through the rest of the card, we're pretty much 500. Some big wins, some fall shorters, right? I mean, it was a tricky card. Northeastern gets the job done there against them fighting camels. Fighting camels. The camel fighting camels. 67-58. UNC crushes the absolute soul of College of Charleston. Minus 5.5. Wins by 20. Only one of our Jackson spots cashed. The under in Jacksonville, Sam Houston. I said that line was messed up. I thought Sammy Houston was that live spot. They get it done. 66-61 on a 143.5. Easy casher. Just missed. They got 139 in the total of Jacksonville and Central Arkansas. 139. We had 135.5. They lost. That is what it is. Houston lost outright to Golden State. First half and full game. Never in this thing. 62-48. Took us to the L in the first half. Took the L in the full game, 105-98. Looked like they might try to come back, but gonna have to see how this thing goes post All-Star break with this Golden State Warriors team and if they can start gelling, like Magellan to be gelling. How about the Pelicans? I told you that's my favorite spot amongst all of sports. The revenge at home. Quick revenge on top of that, plus 8.5, 140, outright winner, 133, the Sacramento Kings. No Bam proved to be no bueno for the Miami Heat. They lost 118-113 to Dallas. Maybe start to take Dallas a little more serious here, I guess, as I debrief and think about that out loud. Nebraska got nuked, 83-75. They were never close. We were live streaming last night, and I kept thinking, I don't know if I said it, but I was thinking to myself, man, I'd feel a lot better if one of us was on Maryland. But we all love Nebraska, and we all took the L. Last but not least, the Utah Jazz dominating that whole game, plus 10. They end up losing 120-116. But that brings us to a wrap. Transparency is important. I'm trying to be legit with you guys coming out here every day. You need to know, am I winning, am I losing? You know we're boozing, but it's important. It's important to talk about what went well and what did not. And we turn the page. Turn the page to a short Friday night card, a Valentine's card. Still have action across the slate. Maybe you go out to dinner. You have a couple drinks. Do your thing. And then you're going to get home and you're looking for a little late night action. And I don't mean that action. I mean some sports action. That's what I'm going to try to help you guys out with here. Nevada, San Jose State game. So we'll talk about it here. Fairfield and St. Peter's. UCLA, Indianapolis. Indiana. Let me try that again. Fairfield and St. Peter's. UCLA and Indiana. Nevada and San Jose State. And St. Louis and the Loyola Chicago Ramblers. That's going to be the 4-pack. Probably shoot from the hip on a couple other games. I do have some trends in some of these other games, but some of them are New York, and you know the deal. You've heard me talk about it before. So let's go. How about that? You guys know the deal. Thumbs up time. Smack that thumbs up for us. Appreciate you guys that do take the time to watch the show. Come in here with your plays ready to go. And we want to grow. And the only way we're going to grow is by getting YouTube to promote us across the enterprise. And we do that by hitting this thumbs up button. Shows that you like what you're seeing. Hey, even if if you don't like what you're seeing, do me a favor and still hit that thumbs up, will you? Let's take a second, close the chat, smack it now. We'll pop it back open. We'll rifle through this card, and we'll get you guys out of here. That's it. Quick. It's a quick hitter. That's all you got to do. Already gave you guys a play. Already gave you. Team Canada, over 5.5 round robin points, -115. Sadly, that stamp doesn't allow me to track any of this action. We did go 1-1. Day one, we had Canada -1.5 at +110. They lost. Well, they won, but they didn't cover. But we also had Sid the kid to get an assist. Sid the middle-aged man to get an assist. At even money, he did. So we had no blood there. And we hammered the card yesterday. Up 3.5 official play units and a whole bunch of other props to look at as well. So show me somebody that's doing it better than we're doing it right now in the Four Nations. I'm not buying it. I'm not believing it. Tell me where my money is. I tell you where I placed it. I'm telling you we've been cashing on it. And it's no funk. It's no fluke. It's the analysis. It's the deep dive on these hockey players, recognizing them on a daily basis, capping the sport every single day, and using that daily fantasy background. What do these players do? What do the algorithms show that they do? How are they going to pull together with their line mates? Does it improve or decrease chemistry? All those factors that go into it, but enough about hockey. There is no hockey tonight. There's college hoops. There's no NBA tonight. I mean, I'm not going to mess with the All-Star game. I might tomorrow when I get a few cocktails. Throw some All-Star bets around for the NBA, but that's got to be the most worthless All-Star product that there is out there, the NBA. It is beyond jump the shark. It is beyond fade. It's just, I might watch a fucking movie if that's the case before I watch the All-Star game. In fact, I don't know if I want to say it. All right, I won't say it. Let's go. Smoke's here. There's my guy Smoke. Smoke, I saw your message. The answer is yes. Not ESPN Plus, but yes on the other one, sporadically. And there's a lot of them to go through. Flow. So you got to go through a whole shitload of them before you find one that actually does have a particular game on it. Because if they don't have a game that's on that channel, they just don't populate it. And sometimes you got to go 40 deep before you find the one you're looking for. So there you go, Smoke. Joe Dub's in the house. There's Trisha. What's up, Trisha? Keith's rocking with us here. Keith has been rolling. Busy man this week. Busy man for Keith each and every stride this week. He likes UCLA -1.5 at Indiana. Daddy Beats, what's up? Gerald Jones. Princeton Brown. Under 140. Says happy weekend. He's 8-6. Love you tracking that, man. That's a sign of a dude right there. I love that under too. That's a nice little spot to get invested with. You know what? I'm adding a play. I just realized I'm adding a play that I didn't pop in there. It's okay. Plenty of time. I think I might add 2 plays. Now that I'm inspired by Gerald Jones and his under Princeton Brown action, I got 2 plays I think I'm going to add. The Milwaukee parlay or moneyline parlay for Rick J, Kent State, Milwaukee, Algonquin for the good land, UCLA and Nevada. Okay. Oh, plus 370. Okay. Shout out to Perky in the house. Dartmouth's on his card tonight. Kent State also. Daddy Beats says live boxing. All right. I got to look around. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff I get involved with here. Involved with a bottle of vodka. Trip to the lip style. I got to go get some. Robert McCormick says, off to a good start with the Brighton Toronto bet. Let's get paid tonight. Shout out to my boy. Sent me this Gaddafi. I don't know. I say Gaddafi. I think of that former dictator. But what a big win. That was a plus 385. I think I got it at there on the money line. So when they got that red card with 20 minutes to go, we were smooth sailing. Blake M, what's up? Stop Geoengineer. Appreciate seeing you again, my friend. Smoke likes this Brandon Nakashima. So do I, Smoke. My tennis has been tough, to say the least, this week. This line has come down, though. Lots of action on Brandon. This line has come down, and I like him. So I would fade me right now. That's my assessment on that one. That was sitting at minus 165 this afternoon. So, it's a little troubling to see. Albeit now, if you fade the Steam this week, I guess it's been beneficial. So, good luck to you, Smoke. I'm going to let the tennis racket stay in the garage tonight. J Main's got Iona minus 5.5, Merrimack minus 2.5, Harvard plus 6.5, Mount St. Mary's plus 1.5, Milwaukee, Algonquin for the Goodland over 155.5, and Fairfield under 132.5. I love that. Well, I like a lot of those spots. I do love that Fairfield spot, though. We'll talk about it. And Trisha M says the Eagles just surpassed the Cowboys as America's team. I don't know if you guys saw the parade. Howie Roseman took a beer right off the head. You see that? He's got a big cut right across his head. It's the bottom of a beer can. Unbelievable. RVD 420 says, let's go Canada over 6.5. That's going to be so much fun tomorrow night. The best game there is. Of all games played head-to-head of any sport, of any competition, that's the best one there is. Team USA versus Team Canada ice hockey is the best. There's a lot of good ones. That's the best one. That's the best rivalry. That's the best matchup. It's the best of everything. It's best. That's it. It's not open for argument. It's not open. Nick says Nebraska is ass cooked to me. Nebraska might get on the shit list. Some entertaining candidates for the shit list. Jerry Davis says, Mike, I teased a 138.5, one of around 6 hooks for me last night, and I still scratched a little profit thanks to USA. Go American! Utah stand-up Collins 2, says J Mate. We want Justice TV, Merrimack, Ryder, Mount St. Mary. Let's go. Redbeard says truck races tonight. Oh, okay. All right. So there's something for me to, it's tough on a Friday card to begin with. And there's only a few games. We want Justice TV, likes Loyola Chicago. People in East Coast say Nevada and Oregon differently than in the West. Nevada and Oregon. I know it's Oregon. Because I had a friend that is from Oregon. In fact, I flew out to Portland, Oregon, and I was calling it Oregon. And she corrected me and told me it's Oregon. And then we proceeded to drive 5.5 hours up the Pacific coast to the Gorge for a 4-day Dave Matthews extravaganza in Oregon. But I believe it's Nevada. I don't know. Maybe I'm off. I tell you what. I say pop, not soda. Say pop, not soda. How about that? What? Kent State first half. All right. Redbeard says Drexel blew an 8-teamer. Yeah. You're not busy tonight. What is that? Is that bowling? I could probably find a bowler. 10,000 in the house. Had Wolves 9 points with Ant-Man was crazy. Redbeard's got Milwaukee minus 5.5. Indiana money line. Okay. All right. Looks like we're ready. Barry's in the house. Just bet San Jose plus 7.5. Uh-oh. Dana Delp likes Indiana. Nasty Nate's on his way to Foxwoods. Nasty Nate, who poured those fucking footers? You're supposed to try to center those things through those footers. It's the ugliest footer I've ever seen. At least it looks square, though. Or it looks straight. Flush. Redbeard says Loyola minus 2.5. Toucan, he's in the house. Mel's here, says we cashed a Finland team total under 1.5 last night. Still got Finland 0 round robin points at plus 380. All right. The USA and under parlay did not cash, though. I saw that. That hurts. Should have cashed. Man, Finland's that bad. They're that bad. J-Main looking at UPenn under 67.5. Yale ain't gave up 68 points at home all season. DJ Hardy says 8-10 game tonight. Under. Keep digging. Lauren in the house. So smash the like button. Let's go. Appreciate that. There says Mel. Someone who's lived my entire life in the West. Mike is pronouncing Oregon correctly. Personal lesson. Sneaky Ninja riding Dartmouth money line right now, leaning towards Nevada -8 for the later games. Jerry Davis likes Auburn in the under 173 tomorrow against Alabama. There is a trend on Auburn, an 8-0 trend footing. What'd I call it? You know what I meant, and you know it looked bad. It was nowhere near the center of that fucking hole. It was right in the side, dude. RBD, let's go. Best game for tomorrow. Jump on the over 6.5 and then pick the side if you want to. I'm on Canada. I'm on America. That should be a fun game. Tons of fun. All right, let's go. I promised you guys we wouldn't be here bantering all night, so let's get to it. Let's pop off game number 1, Fairfield and St. Peter's. Popping this top. We got this thing opening up 7 p.m. I'd look at the under in that Niagara game, by the way. I know it's 6:30 start. Starts in just a few minutes, but it's a Niagara game. Niagara stinks in this role as well. They're in a bad roll for this game, and it's down to 134.5 on the total. Nothing official. I would just fade Niagara, and I would take the under. Fairfield and St. Peter's opened up as Fairfield at a 4.5-point road dog. They're now +4. They're even -3s out there if you like the St. Peter's side. 90% of the bets and 77% of the cash have come in on Fairfield. A lot of cash coming in on a road dog that finds themselves in an 0-7 position. In this case, Fairfield, off a spread win with an average of less than 45.5% shooting and a total that's less than 45.5, tells me they're not good at shooting. And it's a low total, so they're not expecting a lot of points. Means they can't stay in this game. 0-7 against the spread. You're selling high on Fairfield. When we look at the total, it's gone from 130.5 to 132.5, and we have 59% of the bets and 57% of the cash punching in on that over. It has moved. It has moved those 2 points, and yet I don't care. Looking at these two teams, looking at the way that they play, looking at all the factors that go into it, this is just not a spot I can comfortably endorse you guys taking a shot on a side. I got to look at this total. I got to look at this under. This two teams ultimately between them. I mean, look, Fairfield and their position overall, 3-8-1 on the road against the spread. The line's moving down against them with all that money coming in. I can't get there. But at the same side of things, St. Peter's 1-5 against the spread at home. The number's getting better, I guess, from that degree. Fairfield on the road rolls at 8-4, but it's because the teams that they're playing are dominant. We just talked about how St. Peter's is, well, not dominant, but they're just better than them. That's what it comes down to. It's flat out better. And it was just a tricky situation that I said, ultimately, give me this total. Home favorites, college basketball certainly do play a part. You know, there's a lot of cash coming in on those things. But the other one that I kind of looked at, there's just not enough meat behind this on the bone for these guys. A dog of 4 points or more on the road in the MAC. 106-68. So we talked the other day about when they're between the 2s and 3s and books don't know what to do. So a lot of times we want to take the points. In this case, in the MAC specifically, the MAAC, not that MAC, this MAC, the MAAC, when they're 4 or greater dogs, they roll on. I just realized I looked at the wrong spot. Sorry. Now that this line's come down, that's a factor as well. I don't know. I'm just on the under in this one. That's what I do know. I know that there's a lot of opportunity here for this thing to just blow up. And the fact that we're seeing Fairfield in that 0-7 spot as a poor shooting team on a low number says everything I need to know about this game. Go ahead and take your road dog if that's what you want, but I can't get there. I don't want to back either of these teams. The Fairfield Stags have left me high and dry before. Niagara in that one spot, by the way, as a favorite following a home game. Niagara's 0-8 against the spread. There's another little nugget for you guys. Try to just fill out some info for you. One of the games that I did want to add. Let me look. Let me make sure I'm on the right. I feel like as I was rolling through this, I missed something. Let me double check. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what it was. I'm jumping in on Ohio. The Bobcats against Kent State. I know some of you guys probably don't want to hear that. I see those. I'm not saying that they're going to win the game. I'm just taking the points in this case. Looking at these teams, looking at these numbers, where'd it go? 7 p.m. start. It's gone from 5.5 down to 5, down to 4.5. 4.5 is the number that I was able to get in on. 81% of the bets and 79% of the cash have come in on this Ohio road side. The totals drop. 79% of the bets and 78% of the cash have gone to the under. Yet we have sizable line movement to the over. It's gone from 143.5 to 148. Check number one. I look for those overs to correlate with my dogs. I see the dog is moving in the respected line that you would expect. Both these teams do not have an advantage against the spread based on their court situations, meaning Kent State's 4-7-1 against the spread at home. Ohio's 3-10 against the spread on the road. So what's got me looking at this thing? Well, two things. I know I don't want to just fade an over situation. But after Kent State goes out there and plays their best ball of the season, they do not back it up. That's a fact. They played Central Michigan. They went up 91-83. They didn't even cover the spread, but they won 91-83, no defense whatsoever on a shit and suspect Central Michigan team. 11-13 is Central Michigan. They are 12-9 against the spread, so you can see that they are grinders. And it took a lot of effort for Kent State to go out there and get that win. This will be their third straight home game. Sure, I get that. But they're 0-15 after they scored more than 73 points, and we got a total over 135.5. This total's well over the number. What that tells you is they don't do it twice. They just did it against Central Michigan. They don't do it twice. How about MAC games? This is the MAC, not the MAAC. This is the MAC specific trend, MAC. When we're looking at MAC teams, this one fits the Ohio criteria. Back-to-back road games, and the opponent just had a home game in the MAC. They get fat and happy at home. They like traveling on the road. They like to get away from, kind of makes sense, small campuses. They want to travel. They get to feel like superstars or rock stars. Those teams are 60-35 in that spot. So we have an 0-15 fade that says Kent State can't do it twice. And we have something to embrace, a back-to-back road game with Ohio at 60-35. Puts me in. I'll take the points. They don't have to win. They just can't get busted up. Should be enough for us to go out there and figure it out. We Want Justice TV says, I like the Ohio as well. I like that too. Let's go. Jerry Davis playing Ohio and Kent over and both team total over. Rick J says Indiana defense hasn't been good and don't cover pick and roll well. UCLA has sized down low. UCLA made me a believer. Might be a little early to say I'm a full believer. Come on, Nasty Nate. Leave Turkey alone. I don't know what's going on. I just saw it. You guys just everybody behave. Let's not get these comments out there. You know what we don't want. We don't want some of that nonsense that takes place from time to time. Ohio's 37th in tempo. Yes. I think it's a good Ohio spot. They might win this game outright. Who knows? Road teams, we just talked about this MAC back-to-back road games. How about MAAs? I just talked about this one. Road teams in the MAC, the other MAC, when the spread's 4 or more, are play-on positions. That is Rider of the Storm against Iona. I almost took those guys. I don't know why I stuttered there. 91% of the bets and 93% of the cash are on Iona. And the lines come down from 6.5 to 5.5. Make that make sense to me. Help me have that make sense. Again, neither team really has an advantage, one side or the other. pretty much both 500 in their position. Iona has gone 4 of their last 5, and they are coming home after 3 of their last 4 being on the road. Rider of the Storm. Lots of positions in the dog roll. 3-2 against the spread. I'm not gonna add it. I'm not gonna add that one. I want to. I'd take Ryder if I was gonna take anybody. Let's go to what do we got next? We got this Indiana game next. Indiana, Big Ten battle. UCLA. UCLA, I kind of shit-talked him the other day because I said, Cronin gives him the talk, and, they went on that streak, and they showed everybody, and, this line opened at 2.5. They're road favorites. They've moved to 1.5. We have 56% of the bets and 60% of the cash on UCLA. Then we've got I know I'm not saying that one right. 140.5 on the total has gone down to 139.5. 54% of the bets and 54% of the cash are on the under. Favorite and under. Problem is the unders or the favorites losing gas down to -1.5. You wouldn't be able to tell that they're losing gas overall, though, based on the way things have been rolling for them boys, because they did just take that loss to Illinois, but they covered. That was the one. Here's what was the big one about that one? It was hard. It was hard. Illinois was laying 7.5. They were up 16 with 4 minutes to go, and UCLA did not quit. Unfortunately, Illinois scores a lot of points as well, and that game went over. Prior to that, UCLA did have 3 defensive battles. They played Penn State, shut them down, 78-54. They played Michigan State, pretty much shut them down. I mean, they only let up 61 points. They played Oregon. They only let up 52 points. So teams with pace and tempo can kind of give them some fits here, but look, Indiana's not playing that great, and they're coming off a win. Michigan State, 71-67. Michigan State isn't good. I can't make money with Michigan State. I don't think I've made money with Michigan State college hockey. I think is the only spot that I've made some cash on. Yeah, I bet that too. But man, they're bad, and they continue to stay bad. But the thing for me, as I looked at this game, what happened to my? There it is. 2 things I was looking at. One, when Indiana comes off a game that they covered by 10 or more points the previous game, the next game goes goes under. 10 or more point cover the previous game. Well, let's look at that Michigan State game. 71-67. They were plus 11.5. They won outright by 4. That means they covered by 15.5 points. That crosses the over 10 mark. They're 10-0 to the under. And then we got to look at this UCLA side of things. That Illinois game's got to chap their ass because it got away from them early, and they fought till the end. They're 23rd nationally on points allowed, allowing just 64.6 points a game. Should be able to go down there and bust these guys up. When UCLA holds a team to 65 points or less, and I just talked about how Indiana doesn't really score that often, they're 12-0. UCLA is. So, yeah, UCLA should be a clear and obvious choice here, but the fact is the line's moving against them, and that scares me just a little bit. But I see this Indiana comes out there, covers by more than 10 points, and it goes under 10 straight times. And then you got UCLA in a 12-0 spot when they hold opponents to 65 points or less. Might even be a good parlay opportunity. UCLA leads the Big Ten in the turnover margin, plus 4.4 in their favor, obviously. And they force a lot of turnovers when it comes down to it. Moving into the Big Ten, they forced at least 10 turnovers in every game this season. That means limited possessions for Indiana. Might be an Indiana team total under, now that I say that aloud as well. If you're looking to action up on this thing here, that could be another little scenario to consider. And then Indiana, they're 4th in conference in rebounds. So they play a good board game. That holds teams off second chance scoring opportunities. And lastly, Indiana can't shoot for shit beyond the arc. They're 17th in the Big Ten in three-pointers made. So collectively, put them all together for me. It's an under spot for me in this game. Maybe 3 or 4 other ways to consider playing it. But, yeah, I mean, look, Indiana team total under, sounds good. UCLA money line, sounds good. UCLA first half. That's so good. Not so good for me. I'll tell you why. It's travel spot. Again, these West Coast teams that are moving into the Big Ten for the first time haven't dealt with this Baltimore situation. And they were just on the road. So, yeah, they finished strong. And theoretically, they should start the way they finished. But I'm going to kind of say there was a little taxation in there from this travel and this road trip. But player props, Ballo to get the rebound crown tonight sounds plenty good. If you can look for a player out there. I can't do player props in college, but had a lot of time today because there's only so many games. 7.5 rebounds sounds like a parlay piece as well. So Rick Chase says Indiana struggles versus defensive pressure. I like the under. Chase J says thinks K-State keeps it close first half but fades. Okay. What do we got next? Nevada and San Jose. Nevada. I think it is Nevada. It's not Nevada. Nevada. Am I saying that one right? I gotta be saying that one right. I've been to Nevada plenty of times. -5.5 has moved to -7.5. Has moved to some 8s for this road favorite with 69% of the bets, but only 45% of the cash on Nevada. The Wolfpack. San Jose State, the home dog, has the differential. Some sharper money coming in. Didn't make the sharp betting report, but it's sharper, better coming in there, betting away on this San Jose State side of things. And the total, with 69% of the bets and 70% of the cash, is just idling around 135.5. Depending on where you're shopping, you'll see some 135s. You'll see some 136s, maybe even some 136.5s. The Wolfpack, not so great on the road. 2-5 against the spread. And San Jose State, they're bad, but they're not that bad. They're 10-3 against the spread, and that's how people get paid. That's how they make their money. 3-2 against the spread in their last 5. They just came off a home cover against San Diego State, 69-66. But Nevada has found their gear in conference play. They've got 3 straight wins. They took down Fresno 94-69. They should have. They were laying 16 points, but they easily covered. They went into Air Force at elevation. They took down Air Force 74-60. They were laying a 10-pack. They covered. They took down UNLV 71-65. They were laying down a 5-pack, and they covered. This is that time of year where the cream rises to the top. Nevada is some of that cream. They hold edges in pretty much everything you want. Well, not the free throw battle, which does make me a little bit nervous at the back end of things here. But here's the deal with the free throw battle. If you're just getting the shit kicked out of you, does it matter if you get a couple extra free throws? You're not in a position at the end of the game if you're getting torched to go out there and get fouled. And that's what San Jose State's been doing. So they have a high percentage on low probability or lower attempts, if you follow my logic with that. You're not in a 2-point game, so you're fouling the team to see if they can go 1-1 and you get the ball back and a chance to go out there and bang the 3 to go to overtime. That's not happening with San Jose State. Overall, with this Nevada squad, look, less than 4 days rest, coming off of busting a team up by 15 or more points. They're 11-0. I said they just flipped the gear. They flipped into conference mode. The cream rises to the top. Nevada is one of those teams, and they're 11-0 against the spread in those positions. I took it. I laid the points. I took the number. Give it to me. What number did I take? Let me tell you what number I took before I give you anything. -7.5 at -108. -7.5 at -108. Still available. Still widely available. That's a 10 p.m. game. So after you go out to dinner, you come home and get some action, you're looking for some more action, pop on in. Take a shot with me on this Nevada side of things at -7.5. It's a little bit of a lofty number, but Nevada has not had any trouble meeting this mustard. All right. Last game. I might add one more. We'll look at the line when it's all done. See if I add one more. St. Louis Loyola. Let's establish one thing first. A10 games, you know I like the unders. I saw you guys say it in the chat. It gets me excited when you guys say it in the chat because it's like I say it on purpose to Make sure it sticks in, get that repetition so that when you look at the card yourself, you're looking and going, oh, there's an A10 game. That's probably got a chance to go under. And we talked about this, the unbelievable amount of times those games have gone under. This line opened at 3. It's come down to 2.5, 3.5 down to 2.5. So 88% of the bets and 70% of the cash on St. Louis. It's coming down. Total's not moving. 71% of the bets and 72% of the cash on Loyola under. It's not moving. 14-11, 15-9. I can make a compelling case for both sides of this thing. I don't like what I'm seeing out of the line movement. I mean, Loyola's 4-10 at home. St. Louis is 3-8 on the road. Those are spread numbers. St. Louis is 2-9 to the under on the road. Maybe we get a little something there. Loyola's coming back home after back-to-back games. They played Richmond, the itsy-bitsy Spiders. They busted them up 87-80. They lost badly to Duquesne, 69-56. But they put the hammer down at home on St. Bonaventure. That's the key number I looked at. Give me some home stats here. Let's see. 77-53. St. Bonaventure stinks, but a lot of unders for this Loyola Chicago team. A lot of unders for this St. Louis team. When St. Louis is rolling on the road, I just mentioned, they're not covering games either. This is the shitbag battle of the night because I don't like the way the line's moving, but I know what I got to do. St. Louis to the under are 18-5. 18 unders, 5 overs out of a 23-game sample. St. Louis finds themselves in the mighty over position when they're a dog of less than 11.5 points and a total of less than 159.5. And they scored 72 or more points the previous time out. Follow me on that one? Less than 11.5 points means they're not supposed to get torched. The total's not supposed to be a slugfest or a score fest, 159.5, and they just scored. They don't do it again. They're 0-16 in those spots against the spread. We have intersecting zeros. Here comes Loyola. Single-digit favorites versus a team averaging more than 8 threes a game and a total over 121.5 points. They're 7-0 in those positions. Collectively, both those spots, either St. Louis and the 0-16, they're getting torched by 16 points a game on average. And Loyola and their 7-0 are torching teams by 16 points a game on average. And it's funky line movement, so fuck it. This is my fuck it play of the day. How about that? I parlayed them together. I took Loyola, Illinois, -2.5. I parlayed it with the under 140.5. I got a plus 265 out of that sucker. And my thought process there is it's so slim on both sides of things, but the unders are compelling. Loyola's compelling. Why pick one? Let's pick them both. Chances are if one loses, I was probably picking that one anyways. So that was my thought process around why am I jumping this thing in there? I wanted to try to wanted to find something that had a little meat on it. I thought that had a little meat on it. I'm going to add one last game because it does feel like it's a little bit of a contrarian evening. What my reservation was with that, well, I wouldn't say reservation, but what held me back earlier on adding that Ohio game was I was waiting for the fine folks of Fanatics to change their number because they had the best number. And it just was a situation that it wasn't like they were holding pat. They were just fucking around, trying to find out. Okay. I had last game. 2 ads on this small card here. Listen, I'm going to be petting them anyways. Might as well give them to you guys. -7.5 on this North Kentucky game has moved to -7. The Fighting Gottliebs in Green Bay, one of the worst teams in college basketball. 94% of the bets and 98% of the cash are on North Kentucky. The way I would describe this one is the secret is out. Everybody, their brother and their cousin, the neighbor's fucking dog, the snowplow guy, the mailman, all know how bad Green Bay is. 94% of the bets and 98% of the cash are on North Kentucky. What did the line do? It came down a half a point. You don't even have the hook to worry about now. What's holding you back from having that be 100%? 140.5 has moved to 141.5. 79% of the bets and 77% of the cash are sitting there on the under, and yet it's moved on up. I'll read the stats. I mean, I can share them with you. You know, North Kentucky, 1-9 against the spread on the road. Green Bay, 2-7 against the spread at home. Two bad teams. If you're in the business of taking two bad teams and playing the favorite, you're going to be down a lot of money over the long term. Now, the theory is, or I should say that the reality is, Green Bay did just come off a cover. This will be their first game back home after 4 on the road. It's always a tricky little position. But North Kentucky, you know, Robert Morris game the other day, 81-76. They were 1.5-point favorites. They lost outright. So this conference is tough. When you zig, you should have zagged. Cleveland. They beat up Cleveland 85-75. And then Cleveland fucks around the next day and loses to Robert Morris. But that game wasn't under. No scoring, but yet North Kentucky allowed Cleveland to put up a 75 spot. And then Robert Morris to put up an 81 spot on a game that we cashed the under the following game. North Kentucky's defense is suspect. Anthony Roy, lower body, out for this game for Green Bay. Does it matter? I'm not sure. But I do know that the sharp respected bettor report came through. And guess what they were sitting on? They were the ones that moved this line from 7.5 to 7. I'm good with it. I'm good. I'm going to take it. I'm going to step it. I'm going to embrace the suck in this one and take me some Green Bay, some +7 to wrap the show up for you guys. Close your nose. It stinks. But look, North Kentucky's not exactly. I just talked about how their defense isn't playing well. There's a lot of ways to dissect these numbers down. When you see that they're allowing 75s and 85s out there, and then you look and you see that when they're in the favorite role, they're 4-8 to the under. They're not scoring. They're not holding up their end of the bargain. They're 1-9 against the spread at home on the road. I'll take the home team coming back for the first time. It's Friday night, home cooking. Cheerleaders should be all decked out, looking good, doing their thing, shaking those pom-poms all over the court tonight. Nothing gets a college town fired up more than the home squad coming back on Friday night. It's going to be cold, but the cocktails will be flowing out there in Green Bay. I think there's enough. I don't know that they win. I don't know that I also won't have a couple of dollars sprinkled on that money line, but there's some 7.5s that are still out there. I guess I got a shit number. Yeah, 270 money line might see a couple dollars from me. I know it doesn't make any sense, but it's Friday. It's Valentine's Day. Doesn't have to make sense. It just has to get us paid, you guys. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody that's out there. Rick J, appreciate you rocking with us here. Sorry I missed you guys with some of these comments. I wanted to get this stuff in and out by 7. And that's what we've done. Jerry Davis, appreciate you. He wants to go Wisconsin Green Bay first half, not full game. I would expect the tired legs, though. That's my thought coming back home like that after that little sneaker rust they've got to knock off. Nathan Cerna says 70-59. North Kentucky -6 was my first bet, Jerry Davis says. I know. Shout out to Nathan Cerna. I don't know what you're doing in the desert, my friend. AOD says Indiana, UCLA. I would say that you got to go to the UCLA side of things. Trisha M says Nevada's a trap. They won, but not by 8. We'll see. You only watch SEC. Other leagues are trash. We'll see you guys. Thanks y'all for watching here. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Enjoy yourselves a nice Friday. Happy Valentine's Day. Give the loved ones a hug and then let them know they got to enjoy their night tonight because tomorrow you're going to rock with us when we get back for the UFC. Vegas 102 will pop off at 3:30 p.m. Stay tuned for details and updates. Let's close her out with some positive blessing our action. My man Redbeard gifted a sports money membership. That's a real one right there. He shows up on the regular. He's gifting, supporting the community, helping us keep the lights on, getting you guys more tools and technology. Redbeard, this cheers is for you, my friend. I will pour myself a cocktail, and I will salute you the real way, my friend. But thank you so much for being a being a real one, man. Being a member of this community and rolling out day in and day out, blessing our action, leading with positive vibes, my friend. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you guys. On behalf of Sports Money, we'll see you tomorrow.